Welcome to Havering Live. Thank you for joining us in association with Unleashed Live, where we bring the chat to Havering. Please support Havering Live by inviting your friends to like, share and share our page. And this evening we have a fantastic guy from the Havering Daily in the name of Ross, and his latest campaign is going to sort of get you out and about and enjoy the spring fresh air. And as Saturday was the first day of spring, and from next week we can officially sort of go out with a member of friends, and we can enjoy what's around us. Good evening, Ross from the Havering Daily. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for letting me on the show.
Oh, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Right. So, like I say, the first day of spring was the weekend. Pick a street litter picking event. Can you please tell us about it?
So, yeah, I'm pleased to announce that it's taken a little while to make happen, but I'm pleased to announce that we are launching, the Havering Daily are launching a litter picking campaign called Pick a Street. And it will be a borough-wide litter picking event where residents will litter pick in unison across the borough over the bank holiday weekend in April, the beginning of April.
Lovely, fantastic. So, how do how do people get involved? Do they have to sort of have their own sort of litter pick? And is it a stick, litter stick?
Litter picker. So we're partnering with Harold Hill Wombles and also Havering Council's street care team. And the street care team have been absolutely fantastic and have kindly donated a number of litter pickers, gloves and bags that we were able to then give to the community to help, to help them and allow them to take part in the campaign. So unfortunately, we've run out of kits now. So anybody that does want to get involved, if they have their own litter picking equipment, that's great. They're still more than welcome to get involved. And possibly, if you ask nicely at the street care team, they may have some they can lend out. They might have some others. But yeah, so basically for anybody that wants to help clean litter off Havering streets.
Yeah. I mean, so if you've got any questions, please ask, and we can ask Ross here. So next sort of 20 minutes, half hour, if you've got any questions to ask Ross from the Havering Daily, especially regarding sort of litter picking. I know you've been sort of going about with your little litter pick and a bag when you go out, sort of walking your dog. How often do you come across rubbish? Is it sort of every time you go out?
Yeah. So litter's got particularly bad over lockdown. I know that the street care team have been light on the ground due to people having to isolate and other COVID related issues. Obviously, being in lockdown, you've got to have 1 hour exercise a day. So I was using my hour to go out to my local park and local streets to me, and areas where the litter was particularly bad. And I'd spend my hour litter picking, and it's just something I've continued doing. I go out many times a week. I went out today. I went out yesterday. And I've adopted, in fact, there's a website where you can adopt a street and or a place and litter pick it. So this is what kind of gave me the idea to launch the one for Havering. The idea is that you pick a place or pick a street, and we've given the equipment to you, and hopefully you can keep on top of any litter issues that you have locally, and also get involved in future events through Pick a Street. But there's also bigger events that are coming up as well, which are more national events. So we've got the Great British Spring Clean. I know the council are very keen to get volunteers for that. So Pick a Street will work with the council again on that for that event. And hopefully we can build up a team across the borough of litter pickers that want to take part in these events and help make a difference.
I do remember last year, I believe it was the Daily Mail that sort of launched a sort of national spring clean kind of thing. So unfortunately, with the anniversary today of the first lockdown, sad times over the last year. But one great thing is that we have been able to sort of get out and exercise, like you say. Whether it be in your local street or even a local park, because don't forget the Havering. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ross. Is Havering the greenest London borough or something? So there's plenty of parks around the Havering area, isn't it?
Us I think it's between us and another. It may be us. We are the greenest. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but we are a green borough. Irrelevant if we're the greenest, we've got loads of green spaces, loads of open green spaces where people use it. And unfortunately, there's some irresponsible people that are just dropping their litter everywhere. And especially in places like parks, you just don't want to see that. So I want to help change that. And lucky enough, I've got a platform where I can scale that up across the borough. And I'm not unique. There's loads of people as passionate about it as I am, and it's just about bringing those people together and getting to focus on, eventually. At the moment, we're having to do it separate on our own. But maybe in the future we can organise larger events where groups get together. Maybe we could, hit one of the larger green spaces or a particular area of the borough.
I mean, we tried to get Michelle from Harold Hill Wombles to have a chat with us a couple of weeks ago, but unfortunately, she's been sort of really, really busy. So, I mean, Havering Harold Hill Wombles have got a group page, and I do know they are, very successful in there, and also Kieran White, who we've had on this show, and we'll be having him again hopefully next week to talk about Havering Mind. But so like you say, there are quite a few, and like you say, it'd be quite nice with your sort of involvement and your input if all the groups can communicate with each other, which you will, and make one big sort of success story. That'd be quite nice.
Yeah, wouldn't it? I mean, as there's different pockets. I mean, Michelle's fantastic. She does a fantastic job, her and the other Wombles. And I know it's extending further into Haroldwood and other places. And so it's as I said, it's just about bringing those together to focus on the issue at the same time. And if you've got loads of people focusing on something, you can achieve great things.
Amazing stuff. And I mean, the nice thing about it is that you do then start building a nice community because of people wanting the best for their area and start growing like that. But unfortunately, there seems to be a lot of dog mess that is left on our streets. And, that's a sad thing to obviously come across. Have you noticed more and more of that going on, Ross?
Do you know what? It really aggravates me. But what aggravates me more is when people pick it up in a plastic bag and then throw the plastic bag behind a lamppost, behind a green cab box, wherever they can. I mean, it's just I just don't get it. I'm a dog owner, and you pick up after your dog.
You take up the responsibility of a dog owner.
Yeah.
And you do what you've got to do, kind of thing. And I may be wrong, but I do believe more or less every park in Havering would have a bin for dog poo as such, wouldn't it?
At least one. Yeah.
And
there's no excuse for it. I know during the winter, some of the parks that don't have paths were particularly muddy and dangerous to walk on. So more people walk their dogs on the street. So there was this massive increase, especially where I'm opposite a park that is all grass. So especially around my area, there was just an increase of dog poo on the streets everywhere.
which is sad. And obviously, you know, it's not very nice for young children who want to sort of go and play in their local park, enjoy it, and have to come across, you know, stuff like that. Also, you know, what would happen if you you know, see a sharp instrument, you know, like a knife, or, you know, what would your advice be sort of on that? Would it be to call one of these groups, or?
Yes, for sure. I mean, we have anti-knife campaigns across the borough and organisations, and you know, if that would be my first point of call. I wouldn't advise anyone, and there is a risk assessment for all those that are signing up to this event and this campaign going forward. There is a risk assessment that Havering Council have asked us to share with everybody that signs up, and it does go through these details. So, and it also incorporates the COVID guidelines.
So, if you are thinking of sort of starting, it is worth going on to your page, or
Sure.
speaking to one of these groups and sort of doing the litter picking sort of, you know, properly, rather than just, you know, going off, you know, take responsibility where it's due, and do it properly.
You know, it's all about education. And do you know what? When I noticed that now more people see me over the park litter picking, they know I don't work for the council. So they know I'm a resident doing it. And you can sort of see people that, so there's, I won't, you know, there's a particular group of lads that drink Lucozade over the park, and there'll be Lucozade bottles everywhere. Well, I'd make a point of going up, picking up their Lucozade bottles, putting them in my bag. I don't see Lucozade bottles no more. So sometimes just having a presence can change behaviour, but it's about educating people as well. This is why the Havering Council gave us loads of children's litter pickers as well, so we can, you know, get children across the borough involved in it. You know, and when you do something like that, you don't want to see litter. When you're spending days picking it up, you don't want to, you know. So you definitely don't drop it yourself. So it's.
I mean, I've just been doing a bit of work in my garden and having to sort of remove quite a lot of earth. And one, I picked up two things: an old sock, okay, and an old Coca-Cola bottle. That must have been in there for at least 17, 18 years, and that plastic bottle was as good as more or less brand new, kind of thing. So it does show, if you do leave these bottles laying about, they're not going to go anywhere sort of soon. So, you know, take your responsibility and just put them in the right place. You know, take them home, or be even better if you could put it into a recycling bin somewhere, because it is amazing how things just do not break down. And like I say, a cotton sock, it was a kid's sock, and my son is now 21. So, you know, it shows you how long these things can sort of last and don't, you know, break down.
I'll tell you what's the latest issues. Obviously, the gas canisters, but masks.
Really?
The
Okay.
amount of masks that I pick up,
Mm.
and obviously, I don't really want to be picking up people's masks, but I
No,
don't want them littering in our streets either. So it's just, you know, that's brought a whole new issue as well.
I mean, it would just be nice for people to be a little bit more responsible for their own actions. And, you know, we all want to live in a nice world. And the only way we can live in a nice world is us making it a nice world.
You've got to be the change, right? You've got to be the change.
Yeah. Talking about the change, and obviously, like we said, it was the first day of spring the other day. The change of sort of the flowers, and you know, that must be quite beneficial when you're going about, you know, picking up the litter and seeing the sort of the blossoms come out on the tree. So there is a lot of benefit
Really nice.
to.
Yeah, it's actually really nice, and because I've been doing this a little while now, I share a lot of the activities that I do. I've had other people come forward and go, I want to do some litter picking too, and it's you know, it's good to see. It's just good to have others involved, invested in it, and passionate about it. And they come back to me after doing it and go, I actually found it really peaceful and what's the word I'm looking for? But that,
No doubt you learn stuff as well. It's must be educational, where you do learn other things, especially over, like, if you're doing somewhere like the Manor, which is a
oh
very
yeah,
old established woodland area, and a different sort of trees and a different wildlife over there. And no doubt this time of year going forward, there must be some amazing sights over there.
for sure. So it's interesting that you mentioned that though as well. And I know we're here to speak about Pick a Street campaign, but the Havering Daily is looking to launch a tree planting campaign towards the end of this year. So it's something else for your viewers to look out for.
Yeah, I know we've spoken about this a few years ago, wasn't it? You've
Yeah,
been
I've been
quite
trying to make it
passionate.
happen for a while now.
Yeah, you've been quite passionate in sort of planting a tree on every sort of street. That would be lovely. That wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking to build community forests if
Mm,
possible, but it all ties in hand in hand. It's all about the environment that we live in. It's about making it more, making it a nice environment to live in, and just a
yeah.
more enjoyable place.
I mean, especially with obviously the new regeneration within Havering, there's obviously going to be a lot more flats and properties built. So it'd be
Yeah.
sort of quite nice for every one person that moves in, there could be a tree placed and sort of grown for years to come. And
I think there's loads of opportunities to do that. There's loads of opportunities.
mm,
I think it's about looking after our green spaces and investing in them, whether that's cleaning them, planting trees in them, um, whatever. But we've got these beautiful spaces around us, and they can go in a blink of an eye. They can
yeah.
become. So it's important that we look after them.
Yeah, and so how do we get to the page or the link? How do we get involved, Ross? With
So I will share all of the details in the chat. And so the event is pick a street litter picking campaign. The actual event runs over 4 days. It runs from the 2nd of April to the 5th of April. Residents will be able to take part on any of those days or all of those days if they wish. All that we ask is that they take a picture of themselves litter picking and use the hashtag pick a street, hashtag pick a street, or email us directly at the paper or share it on our Facebook page or in the event. Just get the photos up there so we can share it with the community. And I'm sure it will snowball. The more people that are seen doing it, the more people that will want to be involved in it. But at the moment, I think we've got close to 100 people.
brilliant, yeah, that's good.
And that's across the borough.
Yeah, and it's not even really started yet, so it
I
was
finished it
snowball.
yesterday.
Yeah, it was snowball. And well, thank you ever so much. And if anybody wants to sort of get involved, like say, the descriptions will be above. And also don't forget to like the Havering Daily page, and it'll be sort of updated, and you'll be well informed of any events or information going on there. Thank you ever so much for taking your time out, Ross.
No
Is there
worries.
anything else apart from you needing a haircut? So you do
Oh,
look
listen, no one is waiting for the barbers to open more than me. Look at my beard, look at my hair.
well, yeah, you do look like a very good womble at the moment.
Oh, I do, don't I?
Well, thank you ever so much for joining us this evening, Ross. And don't
Oh,
forget, like I say, if anybody wants to get involved with the Havering Daily, join their page with all the information. And if you'd like to join us on the Havering Live, please message us if you have an event or something coming up, a group. Just let us know. We can have a chat, and obviously we can forward the information to for many people. Once again, thank you ever so much, Ross, from the Havering Daily.
Thank you.
See you later.
Speak soon.